What's going on, Internet? The Black Hokage here, aka TBH. And to be honest, I'd like to welcome you back to the Game and Illuminati podcast. We are the Enlightened Gamers, and you're now tuned into episode 142. If you're watching the video version of the show at youtube.com/GI updates, know the show's available on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, and all other major podcast platforms. Be sure to rate the show 5 stars on Apple and Spotify. We need your 5-star rating to move up those charts and bring in new potential listeners to help the platform grow. Follow the podcast on social media. We drop daily content. Our social media handle on everything, including TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram, is at GI Updates. If you're watching the video version, link in the description box below. And without further ado, allow me to introduce you to my co-host. The first of which is Zelda's #1 fan. He forgot to wear his Minish cap, but he won't cap during the show. UTX Tingle the Dawn. Say what up to the people. Yo, hold up. This man's mic is cut. Hold up. I don't hear him. Do you hear him?
I don't hear him. He was muted. He muted.
Sensational. I was like, oh my God.
Starting off the podcast.
No, we're good. Yes.
All right,
I was so baffled.
No, don't cut this. Keep it in.
Oh, you want me to keep it in? I was like, cut those guys to start. One take. We're human. We make mistakes.
Anyways, I'm here. Let's continue. That intro was horrendous. I hated it.
Whatever, dude. You love Zelda. Get your Minish cap out. My second co-host, he refused to allow his dog to be on camera. He kicked him out the room before we started recording because he knows he can't compete with my dog. Ethos, say what up to the people.
My dog will beat up your dog.
Don't you have a chihuahua?
No, I don't. No.
Okay. You know,
I'm a Pomeranian mixed.
Yeah, you already would. He a little street dog.
On the streets. You forgot. Yeah, it's a street
rescue. Street dog. My dog a punk.
Crazy.
At least you admit it. Hey.
No, he is. He's very sensitive. Before we get into the show, friendly reminder, we are sponsored by Discord. So make sure to join our Discord at discord.gg/GI updates. It's totally free. Big shout out to some of our Discord members, including the character Chris, Juice, Dust the Chameleon, Dust, always a comedian, and Valor Apex. It's many perks for joining our Discord, such as shout outs on the show. We do monthly giveaways. This month we gave a copy of Tears of the Kingdom away. Last month, what did we give away? Jedi Survivor.
Yes.
We do consultation for content creators and do big group meetings where we bring in all the content creators in the Discord and we kind of bounce ideas off each other and provide advice.
Posting, by the way.
You said what?
Great stuff they've been posting too. Yeah, we've been going through it.
Lots of good resources.
Yeah.
Yes.
We also have, and that's just like the group meeting with the consultations. We also have another chat room where like anything that we learn on social media, everybody be trading links and like info and stuff from like TikTok and YouTube for all the tips and tricks. So if you want to grow as a content creator, we have good info in there, and we do watch parties too. We just did a watch party for the KSI fight. Wings versus Boogie was on the undercard. How'd y'all feel about that fight?
Amazing. It was the best fight of the night, 100%.
Look, man, hey, did you see Wings?
It was amazing.
Hey, he out here, bro. He out here.
Hey,
yo, Wings has been balling.
Y'all trolls better stop fucking with Wings. He don't beat your ass. He kind of had hands,
respect
bro.
on my boy. Put some respect on my boy, bro.
I'll tell you this much.
Watch out.
He wasn't scared. He was not scared.
He was throwing.
It really felt like I was actually high key happy for her. I'm like, yo, this motherfucker needed a win, bro, because like the troll videos, they're funny, but like I'm not gonna lie, a lot of y'all motherfuckers take that shit too far when y'all be stealing like his bank info and like, you know, harassing him in his place of address. Like, y'all gotta chill out, man. So it was nice to see that man finally get a victory, regardless of some of the things that he said. Yeah, he's having a redemption arc. Regardless, you know, people don't deserve to be treated like that. But yeah, join the Discord. We got a Tekken tournament coming up this month too, in like a week or two. Join the Discord.
What platform is that on?
It's gonna be on PC. I actually have not even put that on Discord yet. It was gonna be PS4, PS5.
I had people hounding me about it on the Discord.
Yeah, I was gonna make an announcement soon. But the voting was really close, and then Nomad was like, "No, let's do PC," because he said
I had a couple of fighting games people telling me, "Please," they were like, "The input latency." I was like, "Dog, I don't know shit about this." So talk to me.
Apparently that PlayStation version is super laggy, so we're going to be playing on PC. Discord.gg/GI updates, $3,000 cash prize, and it will be sponsored by Holscorn Watches. They do watches and jewelry, so the winner will, #1 placement will get $2,000 as well as a watch. And their watches range from like 300 to like 1,000. They're all high-end watches. And then second place will get, I believe, $750, and third place $250. So yeah, that discord.gg/GI updates. We're putting it together. I did a little group powwow where we came up with the rules and stuff like that. We're working on it. Link in the description box below to the Discord. And thank you for sponsoring the show as always. Before we get into the show, freebies for the month of May 2023 on Xbox. For games with gold, you get a free copy of Star Wars Episode 1 Racer and then some puzzle game called Hoa. And then on PlayStation, you get Grid Legends, Chivalry 2, and Descenders. So if you're broke and you need something to play, those are the free games that you can get into. So without further ado, let's get into the leading conversations for episode 142. Man, some great games have dropped since the last show. And the first one we're going to talk about is Star Wars Jedi Survivor, the follow-up, the sequel to the critically acclaimed Jedi Fallen Order, produced by Respawn Entertainment, published by EA. Our boy Cal Kestis is back. He is trying to restore the Jedi Order while Darth Vader is on that ass. I played the Xbox version. Ethos and JG played the PC version. I want to hear about the PC version's experience. JG, Ethos, you want to take the floor on this one?
I had no issues.
Oh.
How
about you, Jay? How about you?
I had no problem.
I've had this second patch. I've had all the issues, unfortunately. I got hit with the bad one.
You didn't beat your game fast enough.
Yeah. I haven't.
And just for clarification, in the group chat, I was getting clowned because I said I was going to play it on console. He's like, y'all still play it on consoles? I was like, that's crazy. Didn't really have too many issues on my version.
Of course you bring it up. I don't have an Xbox. I don't want to play it on PS5.
Did you have screen tearing?
It was like a little bit.
It was like a little bit. Yeah. Oh, you did too.
Okay. Yeah. I thought. Yeah, the Xbox was.
But it was very much playable. It was not that PC version. But we can get into the hardware stuff a little bit later. Let's actually talk about the game itself, because one thing I do feel like is unfortunate is because of the conversation surrounding the PC version. I feel like the actual game itself has gotten drowned out. And I've even seen some people try to push an agenda and say that this is a bad game, which I don't think those people played it. How you feeling about it, Ethos? Do you think this is a good sequel? Do you think this is one of the best games of the year? That's what some people are saying. It's got really rave reviews. What do you think, Ethos?
Yeah, I agree with all that. I think this is definitely one of the best games of this year. I think it's definitely a must play, especially if you're a Star Wars fan. I think it surpasses the first game in every single measure. This feels like a real, like you know how some people say, sequel comes out and they're just like, it doesn't feel too new, right? It feels like they just did like a little things here and there, but it doesn't feel new. This feels like a complete like overhaul on everything in it. Also, they addressed like a lot of the, I guess, the criticisms that, what was it, Fallen Order? That was very interesting. Fallen Order had mainly like customization. This time, like they went overboard. I would say it reminds me, you want to tell me something about, I'll give credit to Respawn on this. One thing that Respawn does really well, and I've noticed it, this is the second time it's happened, is they seem to do really good on their sequels. Like their first time around on a game, like a new IP or a new game, they do a solid job on. I think Titanfall is a great example. And this feels like how Titanfall 1 to Titanfall 2 felt. It feels like it's like everything gets overhauled. They add more content to the game. It just feels like, the second rearing, that they go around, they address all the issues. They add new stuff to the game. And it was a hit. I enjoyed every second of it. I would say it's in my top 3 favorite Star Wars games of all time. I would say it reached top 3 for me. Yeah.
That's a crazy statement. I'm going to share that sentiment. This is easily going to be a nomination for Game of the Year. This game for me was like a complete joy to play, mainly because I actually got to play it. But anyways, I think the best way I can describe Jedi Survivor, it is the perfect sequel. This reminds me of Assassin's Creed to Assassin's Creed 2 or Arkham Asylum to Arkham City. The foundation is there, like it is similar, but they took everything and they blew it up, and none of it really feels like filler. Like I actually explored every planet to like 90-something%. I damn near 100% of this game. And there's so much cool stuff to find, from lore to secret bosses, like the different outfits and hairstyles. The skill trees were really fun to play with. I maxed out the entire skill tree, and the production and the story was like, this is some of the best Star Wars. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, I'm just a bigger fan of Star Wars, like some of the TV shows and like the games, like the other lore especially compared to that new trilogy. Like, this is some of the best Star Wars media. Like, it's a very engaging story. I did a Grandmaster run through, and like, I'm actually really happy that I played it on Grandmaster, because like, I don't feel like it would have been the same on normal. It feels like it's one of those games you have to play on hard to really feel the combat system. Because once you unlock the majority of the skill tree, it gets a whole lot easier. Even on Grandmaster, like you two would have easily probably beat it. I think you should crank up that difficulty you haven't already. Like it makes you appreciate the mechanics more because there's less room for error. But I thoroughly enjoyed this game. Even the side content. Like, did y'all play the Holo Tactics joint?
Yeah, I beat everybody.
I did too.
All of them.
I was like, yo, I would want a Holo Tactics game. This shit kind of fire, bro. Like it's like Star Wars chess.
The last thing I was doing was I was finishing up the whole tree of bounty hunters. I'm like on the last.
I just beat it yesterday.
Yeah, I just have like one left.
Oh, so you haven't beat it?
I haven't finished it because I had like was it my controller? I broke.
So have you had it spoiled for you?
No,
good.
I had something. I had a cameo spoiled for me because of YouTube recommend.
I
think it's related to what I was doing. So
I beat the story first, and then I went back and did all the bounties. If you're playing the game, do all the bounties. The final mission is fire. It's one of those. It reminds me of Ghost of Tsushima too, where like the side quests don't feel like side quests because like there's a nice final fight after you do all the bounties and like cut scenes and a nice little conclusion to everything. Like this game just felt like a labor of love. I will say though, I do think it needed like another 3 to 6 months in the oven, but I think EA was like, no, we want it out now. Because even the Xbox version, I would say 90% of the time it ran fine, but I did run into like some screen tearing. It crashed on me 3 times. One time after a boss fight, I was fucking pissed. But after like those 3 crashes, and they were at the beginning of the game, like the first planet. After that, I really didn't have any problems. Just like a frame drop like here and there. But this is definitely going to be in the top 5. It's going to be nominated for Game of the Year. Will it win Game of the Year? No, I don't think so, because I think a lot of people are biased, which is another conversation we're going to have a little bit later. But Jay, I'm curious to hear what you feel about the game.
Yeah, I think from what I played, I don't know exactly where I am. I'm maybe like halfway, and correct me if I'm wrong. I just got done with the second fight of the main villain.
I think I know what you're talking about.
With the robot.
No, not with the robot. With the main guy with the one. Arm.
No, I'm saying like you were trying to save the robot that.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Okay, Z. Yeah. Okay. I was just making sure.
I don't know exactly.
I'm trying to make sure I'm trying to frame my mind so I don't spoil it.
Yeah, so that's where I am right now. So I just got done doing that, and I don't want to start with the negative. Let's start with the positive. But yeah, this game is great. Outside of Wo Long, for me, I think that this is definitely top my favorite game so far. And we still have a lot of heat on the way. So it's good that we have like a lot of like easy Game of the Year nominations to hit us in like the first 4 or 5 months of the year. It's amazing. The worlds are super expansive. It's so much to explore, so many nooks and crannies. Like you all mentioned, the bounties, once you actually get to that, the secret bosses that you run into, I'm just running into things. I'm like, oh crap, like this, like it's amazing. Like you just run into random like monsters just coming at you, and you're just trying to just fend for your life and try to figure out how to fight. So that's dope. But I do have to obviously bring up some criticisms. One is optimization. That's an obvious one, and we've already touched on that. But the PC version obviously got the short end of the stick. It is unfortunate, and they tried to patch it. They patched it once, it was fine. They patched it the second time, whatever the second patch did. Now I'm crashing like every 5 minutes, and it is unfortunate because I do want to continue playing the game, but I literally had to stop, and I might just wait until they bring a third patch to address the constant crashing. It is in a very unfortunate situation. And I will give another criticism: the map is still bad.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Yeah, the map was bad on the first one, but now that the worlds are bigger, it's even worse to navigate. I get what they're trying to do with the whole Star Wars, like in the future type stuff, but I need for you to make just like a linear flat map and maybe make it like more satellite-esque where you can see exactly what's going on, like on the map, like actual key points, because the map is just very hard to navigate no matter which world that you're on. So that would be my only main criticism, but those are very minuscule. Obviously the optimization issues and actually not being able to play is a major one, especially if you are on PC. Obviously the Xbox and the PS5 is a little bit easier, even though those had their issues too, but the PC version, for some people, was just totally unplayable. Like they couldn't even get past the main screen, the title screen. I know that Tony, he was saying that he was having those issues constantly. So it just sucks that it hasn't been fixed yet. And like TBA said, I think it should have gotten another 3 to 6 months. It already got delayed once, and I think that if they would have had a little bit more time, we wouldn't have gotten the the broken product that we have now. But other than that, gameplay wise, amazing. Story wise, freaking amazing. I love the essential nine canon or whatever you want to call it, whether it's canon or non-canon. I like these type of like side stories that don't have to deal with the just the standard canon or non-canon, whichever way you want to call it. But I like it. I think that it's pretty dope. And like I said, I want to see more Star Wars stories. Like I want to see a Mandalorian or a Boba Fett, like bring those type of stories back in video game form. I think that those will, do as good, if not better, than with this story with Cal. So I enjoy it. I think it's one of my favorite of the year.
I'm gonna throw out another critique and a positive. The critique, since you were just talking about him, and I'm curious for you to chime in on this one too, Ethos. How did you feel about the ending? I thought the ending wasn't bad, and I'm like, obviously we're not gonna talk about spoilers, but it was kind of mid to me. The whole story was fucking fire, and then the ending was just like super open ended. It was just kind of like, I was like, I felt like the whole game it felt like Empire Strikes Back, but the ending wasn't Empire Strikes Back, if that makes sense. What do you think, Ethos?
I like the ending. I think it sets. I like.
They've already confirmed a third game, so like you're not spoiling.
Well, there's stuff JG doesn't know yet that I don't want to spoil. Okay. There's a twist that happens, and you know what I'm talking about. I didn't see that coming. So some people like that, like, oh yeah, I told you. So how did you not see that coming? I was like, I honestly
there was foreshadowing in the first mission. There was foreshadowing.
There was foreshadowing of it, and there were there's lore pieces that kind of hint to it as well throughout the if you find them like on the side. But like I found some hints later on, like those Force senses where like you touch them and it replays like a past memory.
Yo, are you
some of those like were doing some foretelling?
Put your chat in sub mode when you next time like you stream this game, whenever you feel comfortable to play it, Jay, because like I got it spoiled for me. The plot twist that he's talking about, I got it spoiled for me. I got two major things spoiled for me. So like it didn't hit the same, but I'm telling you, like he said, like you probably won't see it coming, and like it won't hit the same if you get it spoiled.
For me, I feel like those two last big boss were fire. Okay, yeah. I can't say what they are, but you already know the two I'm probably referring to, and that last one was a bitch. It was
cheesy as fuck.
I don't know how Grandma, but I was don't get me wrong. Like I was playing Jedi Master. I was playing the
one right below it.
Yeah, the one right below it. Because of when I heard all the optimization, I was like, I'm not gonna lose my shit trying to play it with the frame rate. So I didn't know how my computer was gonna react to it. But I'm gonna New Game Plus it on Grandmaster, definitely. But one of the things I will say is like playing it even on Master, like. There was I retweeted some stuff. Some of the devs of Respawn talked about their accessibility of how they did the difficulties. And it was really cool to see how it's not simply just the parry timing and stuff like that they changed with the game. Like it's actually like how the AI can like body you is like there's certain mechanics like the Wampa.
On Grandmaster? On Grandmaster, I'm gonna tell you right now, the droids will body you. Like you have to take them out quickly or you'll get ganged up on.
Yeah, and then one of the things, like, and that's what I was telling Siggy, me and Siggy were saying the same thing. The best things you can get early game when you play in the higher difficulty is just get your health up and
that's
get
the thing that
gets stem faster. Like that is invaluable because you're gonna need it like as fast as humanly possible. But the big furry dudes, I think they're they grab you and they just can like one shot you basically.
Yeah, the Wookiees, the big ass Wookiees.
Yeah. And weaker difficulty, so when you play it on story mode or like normal mode, there's a quick time event you could do to get out of their grab, but that's gone once you go to the higher difficulty. Cool. Yeah, and this is cool stuff that I didn't even know was in the game. The Respawn, like they had a side by side video comparison of like the same animation
playthrough.
Yeah, the Padawan playthrough. But it was like really cool because like I know a lot of people say that like a lot of people feel like difficulty has been kind of been watered down to just people changing like values of health and damage and that's it. But it was actually cool to see like no, like Respawn. That's how you could tell they really cared about this game. They went they went further to be like, all right, if you want something challenging like a Dark Souls game, you can get that here. But if you'd rather want to just play because it's a Star Wars game, you want it for the story, you can lower difficulty. It's easier for you to feel that power fantasy. I will say I love what they've done with Cal. I love the struggles that he has in this game, and I love the resolution of his character arc at the end. I think that's why I like the ending. But I wonder if maybe because you were spoiled by it, some stuff, I don't know what areas, but maybe that might have lowered the value a little bit. But I like my boy was struggling, bro. I like that this game was really.
No, I agree. It's very well written. It's a very. I think the reason I like it is the same reason I like Mando. It's a very human story, regardless of all the space magic. It's a human story, and I think that's what makes it great. And I think that's what a lot of the movies.
It feels like it has heart.
Yeah, it feels like it has heart, and that's what makes it great. So you end up rooting for him to the point where I'm like, people are like, "Who's your favorite Star Wars characters?" I'm like, I'm not gonna lie. I fuck with Star Killer, and I'm fucking with Cal, bro.
Cal is like, I think in the Jedi, like, I think first game I was like, I like Cal even in the first game, but
he was kind of whatever
the
first one.
He's just some generic white dude. I was like, okay. This game, like, they fleshed him out a lot more, like his like who he actually is and like his beliefs and stuff like that in the second game. And I think like he's entering he's getting close. Like, I think he's in the top 10 of my favorite Jedi. He's creeping close. I think if this third game nails it, he might creep into the top 5 like of my favorite Jedi.
The
like,
his fits is clean too.
Yeah, and then I'm like, JJ, I'm positive has already seen this already or knows about it. It's just like giving this man a gun was the greatest shit ever.
I need him and Obi-Wan to interact.
The most.
Yeah, and the justification of it just being like him being like, well, like all the Jedi was had previously like, oh, like, you know how Obi-Wan fought Grievous and he shot him and he was like this uncivilized weapon and dropped it. It's just funny how like Larry Bo tells him, he's just like, dog, like these people are trying to kill you. Like you need every weapon you can in order to win. And he's just like, yeah,
dead. We gotta change the rules up here.
Go ahead to the range and just start shooting.
I felt like Cal was like that. You know that Kardashian meme of the Kardashian mom where she has the pistol, she's just staring. You hear like the murderous beat in the background, like she's about to shoot.
Just cocking it.
He was like thinking back to like running for his life against Vader and all the shit that happened in the first game. He was just like, never again, never again. So yeah, I'm excited. I love his lightsaber styles. I love the blaster stance. That's my favorite stance out of all of them in the game. I thought I liked crossguard the most, but I feel like it's a little too slow.
That was my favorite stance.
It takes too long to hit people.
When you go to Grandmaster, you're gonna love that cross guard because it breaks people's guards. It breaks people's guards real quick. So here's the tip on how to use it. When you jump and attack, the animation is fast. Yeah. So you jump in and attack, and then you do your combo, but you don't ever swing.
I would jump in the air with the cross guard. I would slam it down on the that the slam.
Throw the blade too because it hits like a truck.
I would do that, and then like I actually swapped a lot. So I would do that as the engagement weapon, and then I would switch the blaster form, and then I would like do the combo where I'd stab them, flick them, and then with the blade or with the gun, and then just go back to the blade and just keep slamming them.
My whole playthrough when I was streaming it was like there's a whole like elitist, like you have to use the double blade. That's the most popular stance, the double lightsaber blade. Yeah, like everybody get off the crossguard. It's too slow.
One or the
tool joint, the pure offense, pure wielding.
Yeah.
What's the name? And just for reference, y'all can't see it, but the people who are watching the video version, it's the stance that's showing on the screen right now. The dual joint. That's the most popular. Everybody's like, you have to run that to win in Grandmaster. So like my whole playthrough is showing people like, yo, you motherfuckers suck. You just didn't want to. I'd argue you have to be better to play with the cross stance because you have to have perfect timing.
You have to. You can't afford to. So that's the thing. I think the dual one is just, it's very forgiving, right? Like you just spam it and you can get out of it. You can cancel your attacks very fast. That's the whole point of it. So I think a lot of those people who like to just spam attack button on people, that's why they gravitate towards that. But I think blaster and crossguard takes a lot of finesse. Like blaster, you have to have very good finessing, and it doesn't have that much defense. So if you fuck up, it hurts. Like it really kills your.
I ran crossguard in the blaster. That shit was fire. Yeah. I would love to hear. Did they get the blessing from George Lucas on this? Like, how does he feel about that? Because like that, they're playing with shit a little bit, and I'm like, but I fuck with it. It's different.
I mean, he's the only Jedi that I know that has this. I don't think I've ever seen anybody in any of the IPs like actually manipulate their lightsaber, like have this many different. And apparently, stances. Like usually at most they have like 2 stances.
And apparently, this game takes place the same year the Obi-Wan show is going on. So like for that third game, like I would love to. I would fucking lose it if there's some type of crazy interaction between those two. And he sees that shit would be a funny ass meme. One more positive too I got to give about this game. I almost forgot about it. This game surprisingly is a fucking platformer, and you come from the school of Mario.
I take it back. I didn't like that shit.
Man, well, fuck you. I disagree.
I'm sorry. There was some.
Hold on. Let me get my shit off. And then I'm gonna let you talk, bro.
You just reminded me.
I don't know. That's a positive, but go ahead.
It's a positive for me. I come from the school of Mario, Jack and Dexter, Sly Cooper, Ratchet and Clank. This game, for those of you unaware, is just as much as a platformer as it is like a Souls like game. There's even there's platforming puzzles that remind me a little bit of like the tombs in Assassin's Creed, but like you will be wall running, jumping all over the place, and if you do not time your shit correctly, dashing in the air, you will be dying a lot. And I enjoyed it because it was a testament to Respawn's level design. It reminded me a lot of Titanfall. The way this motherfucker is zipping across the map, I ain't seen no other Jedi do that shit. That's why I'm like, I'm kind of fucking with Cal. He's moving up for me. But go ahead. What was you about to say that was negative for you?
I hated that shit. I hated those fucking puzzles. I hated the movement thing. I like the combat puzzle things with the force disturbance, but I hate it. Every time I went to one of those, I was like, please be a combat, please be a combat. And when they did one of the movement ones that had the red light, green light, red, I was pissed. I did not enjoy that. That was one segment of the game. Every time I saw it, I left. I was like, I'm not engaging in this thing. I do not like doing this shit at all. The platforming I thought was fine. I don't mind it. It's just some of it felt like how like Doom Eternal went, where it's just like, I'm here to like kill people with a lightsaber and like do all this cool like over the top stuff. Same thing with Doom. And then they add these parts in the game where it's just pure platforming, and I'm just sitting there like, why am I doing this? Like, why am I like, oh, I hate this like when it's just like a full like part of the level is just nothing but platform. I don't mind putting it in between the combat scenarios, but some parts of the game there was just like a lot of platforming you had to do to get to a certain thing. I will say, JJ, I have to know. Please, I pray to God, please tell me JJ did. Did you do the desert level?
Jedi.
Yeah. Did you do the big action sequence for that or no?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Okay, I thought that shit was phenomenal.
No,
with the ending to Jedi. I know what you're talking about.
With Marin in the desert.
No, I've had that yet.
Slide no calls when I shoot.
That action sequence was dope. It was dope.
I don't think anything else is going to top that. Like that experience was one of the coolest shits I ever like playing a game this year. I think that was like one of the coolest like I guess like set pieces I've ever seen like in a game, and like it felt like God of War. Like I felt like a lot of this game took inspiration from God of War. Like there's their presentation.
Did it better.
They applied it to the game.
Actually,
they made it less.
That's a great point. You reminded me of another thing. So here's what this game does do better than God of War 2. Y'all know
there's a lot of things better than Ragnarok.
I'm not a big fan of puzzles. The puzzles in this game, they did not bother me. And do you know why? Because they were fucking contextual. Like they were contextual to the story, so you understood why you were doing them, but then they were all different and they were just the right difficulty, and they never got in your way versus like Ragnarok, where it's like you finish a boss fight and then you gotta do a puzzle just to leave the arena. I'm like, nigga, like I'm mentally exhausted.
It's like, please just let me through. Like, that doesn't make sense.
And there's only like 3 or 4 major puzzles. It's not puzzle heavy. It was the pacing in this game was mwah. I was like, it was at the right point for me. I was not mad at it.
The only pacing thing I was a little about was there were points in the game where it was like, go to this planet. Now go back to this planet you've already been on. Now go back to this planet. Like that back and forth thing was a little bit irritating, where it was like, go back to the main planet, was it Koba, I think it was. Yeah. Go back to this planet like every fucking time. It was like, oh my God. But the good news I was happy about was I was irritated that I had to keep traveling back and forth. But the thing that made me happy about it was like every time I went back to Koba, it was just like, that planet from a level design standpoint is insane. Like the different areas that planet alone has, where it's just like one moment you're in a swamp, the next moment you're in an Imperial facility, and then the next moment you're in the clouds. Like I was like, wait, this is all on one planet? Like it feels like they're different planets, but it's still all in the same level. I got to give their hats off once again. Respawn, without a doubt, you guys are masters of level design. You blew it out of the park again when it comes to level.
I felt conflicted about the backtracking because I hate backtracking. But like once I don't
like it either.
Once I unlocked the ability to unlock a certain area in an old planet, when you would go back and actually do it, I'd get over the backtracking because the level design was so fire. It's kind of like I was like, this was here. And it's not like little sections. Most of them are like new big sections. They look different from the rest of the planet on every planet. So it's like I kind of got over it and I was like, yo, I understand why they did this. Not a big fan, but I understand. And like it's still fun to a degree.
A lot of Metroid inspiration. I mean, everybody said the first game has some Metroid inspiration. They just doubled it here, where like the air dash, like how many places that you saw when you first were running through like a planet and you'd just be like, how am I supposed to get to this thing? I can't get here. And then
how can I make it? Yeah,
how am I supposed to make it?
Something's there, but
but I can't reach it. And then you remember, you recall that place when you return. Maybe that's why they did a lot of like go back to this planet. And I was like, oh yeah, there's this place I remember when I went there the first time and I couldn't access it. Now I can. And then you discover there's a whole new place and stuff that you can get. So
there was even like a little attention to details with the hub world like Cabo, where like as you progress further in the game, the planet becomes more chaotic. Like characters that were bosses on other planets just start appearing in the hub
being
world.
regular.
Right.
You're like, oh god.
I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, okay,
That's the Elden Ring design. Like once you beat one boss and he comes back,
Then he
just
comes
a regular
back.
enemy. You like, all right, well I know how to beat you, but still, why you here?
I would say overall though, I felt like a kid playing this game. This was a fucking joy to play, and it was just like it's so refreshing. Like we've all played so many different things, despite like the technical issues. I was like, yes, thank you. This is a great game. I would say if you want to play it now, get it on console. But if you want to play it on PC, it's absolutely worth experiencing. But wait till like a patch comes out. Like I wouldn't risk your rig. What would y'all say?
Yeah, no, I share the same sentiment because right now, like I said, it's unplayable for a lot of people. So if you just truly want to get on PC, wait. But I think that everyone should play the game, especially if you're a Star Wars fan. Like, why not?
I think it's a must-play game that everybody should play, especially if you're a Star Wars fan. I feel like this is a must-play. I say, yeah, if you're getting on PC, I mean, get it on Steam and see if it runs well for you. And if it doesn't, refund it for your free. Goes up.
Also, you should play the first one. Like if you're thinking about this one,
you have to play the first one.
You should play the first one.
There's a recap at the beginning of this game, but like I'll say it doesn't. It gives some, but it doesn't give all the context. I would recommend playing the first game still. Like it's not everything. Or watch a summary on YouTube. Maybe that gives a better summary than what's in the actual sequel. But I think it's going to be nominated for Game of the Year. It's an amazing game.
100%. Yeah.
It's it's interesting that I meant to bring up what you said earlier, Jay. You think Wulong will still be in the conversation for Game of the Year at the end of the year?
I think it might get snubbed, to be honest, because I don't think enough people played it, even though it was on Game Pass. I don't think enough people played it to really stir up the hype. Because we already knew what games were going to be in the conversation. We knew that Hogwarts was going to be in there. We knew that Jedi Survivor was going to be in there. I'm
going to be honest. I don't think Hogwarts is going to be in the conversation at the end of the year.
You don't think so?
No, nigga. I could be wrong. Well, no, I'm going to keep it a buck. So, like, check it out. And this is why I said it's interesting you brought up Wulong, because I love Wulong too, but I don't think that'll be in the conversation because I do think Star Wars raised the bar. And then Zelda's out right now. That's based off what I played. Even though I have some complaints about it, it is a Game of the Year contender. I've only played like 4 hours. It is. Then you got Street Fighter 6 coming out, Diablo 4. I don't know. Does Starfield still exist? Is it coming out this year?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Street Fighter 6
allegedly. We'll see.
We'll see. We still got some
allegedly.
bangers coming. So I was like, some games might get snubbed, and there can only be 5 nominations, I believe.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough. I don't think Wulong's going to be in there realistically. I would love for it to, but I don't think it
might
will
get
be.
Action nominated, but Game of the Year nominated.
Yeah, it's not going to be Game of the Year. Yeah.
TVH, look at your Discord really quick. Hey, click on that Twitter link I sent you.
Yes, sir.
Look at his first tweet and then look what he quote tweeted. And don't tell JG because obviously it's spoiler, but
yeah. If there's audio in this, I can't hear it.
No, there's audio. You just need to read what he wrote.
I'm like an hour into Jedi Survivor and I already know I'm gonna really love Boat. Yeah, that's great. He was a great character. All right, next topic. Moving on to another topic. Oh, before we move on to away from Star Wars, I saw this tweet on my timeline. This one kind of piqued my interest. It comes from this guy on Twitter named Soul King Lives. He tweeted, just hit my For You page. He says, so Respawn wanted Cal Kestis, the main character from Jedi Fallen Order, to be black, but once again, it got to the top and racism won. So then I'm like, this tweet was going viral. I'm like, what's the source? I haven't seen that. So then I got on Google and like some articles came out. I don't know if we covered this in a previous show. I don't remember.
No.
Yeah. So let me pull it up. So I
confirmed it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I started doing my research and I found an article on Games Radar, which is a reputable site. And they said Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order devs wanted a black female protagonist, but it was shot down by the higher ups from EA. So your boy Cal, maybe that's why we fuck with him. Ethos, like maybe because it's like low key, like he was supposed to be black and it's still black. And
I have a conspiracy. I have a crazy theory about this, and I can't say it because JG ain't beat his game.
Oh man,
because you know what I'm talking about.
Can I write that on the notes for like the next show? Because I want to hear this. Like I'm gonna put that on.
You can write on the next show. All I'm gonna say is, I can
remind Ethos for conspiracy. Can you beat the game by the next show?
Yeah, can you hurry up, JG? I can say I just told you why he don't beat his game. I swear to God, he takes too long. See, that's how you know.
Come to the dark side, Ethos. Come to the dark side.
You know, I'm starting to believe with TBH. Look, I can say the theory but I can't give you the reasoning behind it until JG you beat it. But this is my take. I think Seer. I think she was supposed to be the main protagonist. Black woman. I think and there's a lot of, in this game, there's a lot of reasons I back that up where I'm like, yep. And you know what I'm saying? Well, you know where I'm going with this. And I'm like, you know what? I think she was supposed to be the main protagonist. I think her story was going to be the one that they were going to do originally for the game, and then they shifted her to a side mentor character, and then so they could keep her in the game, and then they made.
They still wanted some of that DNA, that original.
Yeah, they still wanted.
It's crazy
it.
though,
Maybe they
because I mean,
if
the theory was still here, there's going to be a black female protagonist who's one of the only main black female protagonists in the game. It's Seer, so of course I think that would have made sense. Yeah, they were trying to do that with her.
But no, what he's saying is based off what's going to happen in the game.
I can't tell you.
He can't go more into deep because
I get that, but it doesn't matter though. It doesn't matter.
It totally does.
No, but I'm saying in my brain it doesn't matter because literally you just put 2 and 2 together. If they were trying to make it a black female protagonist, Seer is in the freaking game, so of course that's what they were trying to do. I get what your context is trying to be.
I get that your context.
I agree with you though.
But I'm saying there's something further in the game that I'm like cements this kind of in a deeper level where it kind of was like Respawn was like, well, fuck the higher ups.
Without spoiling anything, they explore Seer's character a little bit more in the game.
Yeah, they explored a lot.
Okay. But you got to play to know what he's talking about.
You got to play. Hurry up. Hurry up. Please.
Well, I'm going on vacation, so it's going to take even longer now.
This nigga don't play no games, going on vacation, just too busy making babies and shit. Why are you so social, nigga? What the fuck? You got a gaming podcast to fucking do. Stop being so social. Jesus.
Fucking up our paper.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, Jedi Survivor. Check it out if you haven't already. Moving on to the next topic, another game that dropped since the last podcast, the Microsoft exclusive available on PC and Xbox, Redfall. This is the new looter shooter, first-person shooter from Arkane Studios. These are the people that brought us Deathloop and the what's the Corvo game? I always Dishonored and the Dishonored franchise. This is a looter shooter that takes place in a fictional city in Massachusetts. Vampires have taken over, and you and the crew have to try to save Redfall, Massachusetts. The game came out, and let's just say that it was the punching bag of the week upon release, and reason being is the game is considered to be dog water. Currently on Metacritic, which is a website people only reference when they're trying to push an agenda. That's what we're doing right now. But no one actually takes this website serious. It's currently sitting at a 54 overall for the professional scores, and then the user scores at a 2 overall. This game was getting a lot of hype for the last 2 years since it was announced. It was supposed to be Xbox exclusive. It was available on Game Pass. Arkane has a pedigree, but the game just turned out to be dog water. People are reporting bugs, uninspired gameplay, ashy graphics, just unfinished mess. JG, you got to spend some time with Redfall. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I uninstalled it after an hour.
Big uninstall.
This game was very uninspiring. The story I did not get into at all. On PC, once again, the game was unoptimized. It wasn't to the level of Jedi Survivor, but it was unoptimized. There was like little to no enemies around. I literally showed the chat. I streamed the game and I showed the chat what a stealth animation was for killing someone, and you literally just gun butt and that's it. It's like nothing to it. I'm like, bro, it sucks because Arkane, we on this podcast we appraise Arkane for good games, right? Like Dishonored was amazing, and we're like, okay, how did you get from Dishonored to this? Like this isn't even rivaling a game that came out more than 10 years ago. What is it? Not even rivaling Back for Blood. Like, what is this game truly trying to be? Like, it really makes no sense how this game just came out in the state it was. It really seemed like it was just half-assed because there's literally nothing in this game that's engaged enough. Even if I was playing this game co-op, I don't think that I would have been interested enough to continue playing. Like, there's just literally nothing to it. The guns, like, they're just uninspiring. Like, killing someone isn't inspiring at all. Like, yeah, since they're vampires, you have to kill them with a stake once you get them to a point. But like, I did not feel engaged with the game at all. the world is just super uninspiring. There's like literally nothing around. Like it's a walking simulator for really a lot of the time that I played. I was just going from one place to another. I may be seeing like one or two vampires in the middle of, you know, me going from destination to destination. It's just silly main quests and silly side quests that you're doing. Just a lot of fetch quests for what I played. Like what is this game? What was this game trying to be advertised as? Because when we saw it as, we had a really, you know, nice looking trailer in there when we first saw the game reveal, and then as the game was coming up until release, we just kept hearing bad news after bad news after bad news. A 30 FPS thing on consoles, and then we were hearing that we were hearing about the gameplay for the people that played it early. They were like, well, there's nothing in this game. Like, we're just hearing bad news after bad news. And then the game comes out and everybody truly sees, like, people are trying to cape for mainly the Xbox fanboy. They're trying to cape for this game so long. But eventually you have to admit, when a game is bad, a game is bad. Like, this was a game that Bethesda, like, this was supposed to be their first, like, real foray into, like, okay, we're on Microsoft now. And then you give us this product and it just looks really bad for y'all. Like, you've been hating on Bethesda for a while because they've been having super unoptimized games, and their engine is bad. And this game, it doesn't help to change your agenda. Like, so far, you're right. Like, Bethesda is doing really, really bad. And so when Starfield comes out, this game better blow everybody's socks off, because right now they're looking bad. And it's like, Microsoft, I know you spent all that bread, but is this the product that you really wanted? I don't think so.
There's so many different ways we could take this conversation, but let me start off with the World War Bethesda. Absolutely, I'm going to war with Bethesda, because, and it really sucks too, because this is a hometown developer. For those unaware, Bethesda is a suburb of DC, which is where I'm from. So it's like, I want to root for them, but you guys just don't make games that fucking work. And how many times are they going to put out a game and you guys are going to support, we'll just bought it. Like, stop doing this. I don't understand this shit. But the most fascinating thing is I feel like Starfield is like the third strike. If they do not knock it out of the park with that, and do we knock Bethesda down a tier? Are we finally going to take them? I said, I've been saying in the group chat, the NBA is full of $100 million bums, more $100 million bums than ever. Jordan Poole, $100 million bum. On the other side, the gaming industry, it's full of $100 million bums too. I mean, why make a game that works when you got $100 million from, or they got like a bill from fucking Microsoft, didn't they? Something like that. So what's the, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not gonna hold my breath on Starfield, but anyways, that's beside the point. I just wanted to say World War Bethesda again. The other point I wanted to make, this has nothing even to do with Redfall. Ethos, JG, come to the stand for me one time. Forspoken, Redfall, Jedi Survivor. I mean, how many games? Wasn't Wulong a little wonky on PC too?
No, it was not. No.
How many
No,
games?
was not.
How many games this year have to release as bad PC ports before you guys say, you know what? Maybe I should stop risking blowing up my PC and just maybe getting the console version for these single player games. How is your ego and pride that important? Come on, guys.
Yes. First of all, Jedi Survivor was broken on every single goddamn platform, so we're not gonna push that like it was just a PC thing. The Xbox and the PlayStation both had issues. They were not getting 60 FPS on any of those platforms. But mine was fine, so I lived with it. What was the other ones you listed?
He said Forspoken, Jedi Survivor, Redfall.
Bunch of mid. I don't give a fuck. I was like, I don't care.
Wow.
No, I go against people's better judgment. They can tell me that the game doesn't run on PC. I don't listen to them. Until I play it on my own PC and I see for myself, then I don't buy crap. I play it on PC. I have ways of returning the game, unlike on console. I have ways of returning the game if it doesn't work. No, I'm not going on console. The only time I went on console was Hogwarts, and I only did it because I could play the game.
I just don't want my PC blowing up. And there hasn't been a big graphical leap in a while. So like Jedi Survivor on Xbox look pretty much the same as on PC. So like it's not a big enough graphical leap for me to justify risking my PC. But hey, if you guys want to do that, more power to you.
You got a bad PC.
That's a lie.
Anyway,
we know you have the most technical issues out of everybody.
We know you're not even in the right generation.
No,
you're not even in the right generation.
No, let me say, didn't both of you have a 3090 that turned into a hydrogen bomb?
Nope.
Didn't? Now you did. Now you did.
No.
Okay.
No.
Where did you get this stuff, JG?
Now I see why y'all defended Bethesda, because they really lived the Fallout life. They don't even really remember when they shit turned into a nuke and they had to hide because they 3090s was blowing up. This nigga JG had to send his 3090 to fucking China to get that shit repaired. The CCP was like, nah, exactly. Oh, thank you for snitching. So his shit did blow up. Thank you.
No, it didn't blow up.
It didn't blow up.
It didn't blow up.
It didn't blow up.
It didn't blow up though. You said it blew up. It didn't blow up.
First of all, I sent it to North Carolina, so stop the count. I sent it
That's
to
close
North
enough to
Carolina.
Like, what?
Hey,
did you fail? Like,
here, bro.
That's close enough.
I sent it to North Carolina. It was the GPU manufacturer. It wasn't my actual PC, okay? The 3090s had known issues, and it was certain manufacturers, certain brands that had bad 3090s. That was it. Ever since I got it switched, zero problems.
I'm just glad it didn't go to South Carolina because Nomad would have killed your GPU for real, bruh, and it would have been really over. What's the name? Let's get back to Redfall. What's the name? Redfall. This game is dog water. So I played the game for 2 hours. I streamed it. And in the span of 2 hours, I think I fell through the map. AI was not able. You'd stand right next to the AI. They would not be able to detect you. You had characters appearing out of thin air. Basic stuff the AI wasn't able to do. Like I had a zombie attack me, and I jumped over a highway rail. So there was a rail separating us, and the AI never ran around. It never jumped over. It just kept running into the rail. Just goofy shit like that. It was super easy. Like I fought the first boss, and they were like, "You're about to run into one of the top tier vampires." I killed it like in 3 shots. It was the most anticlimactic shit, and I've seen other people say the same thing in their reviews. But one of the biggest culprits I think of this game is how completely uninspired it is, which is really fascinating because Arkane is known for crafting very interesting worlds, specifically with the Dishonored world. I think that's what makes it so great when you're walking around, all the cool things going on in the environment, the characters, they're very interesting that you get to interact with. None of that is here in Redfall. It's like a generic suburban town, and there's long stretches of just running from point A to B. And I'm just playing the game and I'm like, who is this for? There's not an ounce of fun to be had here. And it's crazy because they said they plan on fixing it. But my thing is, like, if they fix all the bugs, regardless, it's still not a fun game.
Still a mid game.
Yeah, like, no, it's not even mid. It's literally just not good. There's nothing innovative about it. So I don't really understand who this is for. And I think it's a bad look for Game Pass because then it's going to give ammo to people like me and people who are actually serious, because I just be joking, but people who are actually serious and be like, see, that's a Game Pass game. That's the type of games that be on the Game Pass. So I think if anything, it's more. I'm not upset personally because I was never looking forward to this game. There was huge red flags when they were previewing this game. If you notice, every time they previewed this game at a showcase, it was a lot of just slow walking around. You know, a zombie might come up, they shoot it, but they never showed anything dynamic. It reminded me of the time when they were showcasing. Remember when they were showcasing? What was that space game? They fixed it, but when it came out, it was dog water. Sky. Yeah, it reminded me. Remember when he was demoing No Man's Sky and he wouldn't let nobody touch the controller and he was just walking around the planets? It was the same shit was this. And people were like, "Oh, you excited for Redfall?" I'm like, "Are we looking at the same game?" Like, at this point, I played at 32. I played enough games to look at something and you can usually kind of tell if something is going to be bare minimum past that threshold of being able to get at least like a 6 or a 7. But this shit is straight 3 out of 10 dog water. Did you get a chance to play Ethos?
Yeah, I played it. I played it for about 3 hours. I'm disappointed.
Hey, shout out to you. Played it for 3 hours.
I actually recorded me playing it. I wanted to give this a fair shake. I didn't get a chance to play it with co-op. I did hear, like, I talked with Homeless, and Homeless is playing co-op, and she says it's been solid when you play with friends. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. A lot of games are better like that when you have friends to play by yourself. But I mean, I agree. Like, I'm very disappointed in Arkane here. Like, this is, I try to give them the benefit of the doubt up until launch. Like, I saw all the red flags too, and I wouldn't even say I was really like hyped for this. I was just like, it's an Arkane game. Like, it's something to play. I think I said that when we were talking about the game before during the showcase. It's just something to play. If it's something that's playable and it's decent, I'll be satisfied with it. But I don't think it didn't even reach that mark. It was, like you said, uninspiring. I don't know how the hell you go from making Deathloop and making Dishonored and with these intricate levels and with crazy level design, and you make Redfall's world, which is the most basic, like, Fortnite design map. It's terrible. The weapon looting doesn't have any sort of, like, it doesn't make sense for this type of world. Okay, so the first moment I knew that this game was like like they didn't care was I looked down and I couldn't see my feet. I couldn't see my legs. I was like, there's no like the model on the gun when you look down.
Can I give you my moment?
You can't even see him, and that was like 10 minutes in the game, and I was like, yeah, okay, this is already strike one. All right.
At 10 minutes into the game, I knew they didn't care because there was no fucking cutscenes. And there was like, I'm not gonna lie, that honestly is one of the most jarring things I've ever seen in a video game. When you get to the home base, I'm like, and there's all those people. I'm like, who are these people? Why should I care that I'm working with them? There was no context to what you were doing. But go ahead, Ethan.
Yeah, no, I agree. That was the other thing that I noticed too, was like I don't know if it was just them not having the time. Like, I don't know if this is one of those. Okay, so I'm trying to think how I'm going to say this. So I feel like this is a perfect example of sunken cost fallacy. Like, I feel like this type of game, this is what I've seen through some reporting, right? So we have reports that Microsoft wasn't even involved with this and that they didn't have faith in it. This is rumor, allegedly, that Microsoft, this project had been
worked on. They pulled a Dylan Brooks.
Yeah, that this, I don't know that now. Yeah, I agree.
We're not bringing you back by any circumstances.
So this game had been originally started by and initially pushed by ZeniMax. And somebody made a correlation, said that this game had started development in like 2015, 2016. And that ZeniMax was they were pushing into that whole live service, long engagement type of game. And Redfall was one of those. And as you know, Arkane doesn't do that. They don't make those type of games. Kind of like how they made, They made BioWare make Anthem, right? Like every studio was trying to make studios that had no pedigree in making like a Destiny game, trying to make some sort of looter shooter. And so they were like, all right, we'll make this type of game with Arkane. Arkane can have their own twist to it. But like, there's just so many things wrong. Like, I don't understand the art styles mismatch. Like the gun models don't feel like they match the world. Like they feel like they feel like they belong in two separate games. Like I said, the character models don't look good. The animations are not that good. I don't like the way the gunplay feels. The gunplay is terrible. It's very stiff. Yeah. And then somebody said this in a review, and I was like, I completely agree. I was like, y'all had id Software. You had id Software. It's under the Bethesda branch. These are the people that made Doom Eternal. They make shooters. That is their shit. Why y'all didn't reach out to them and be like, yo, we're cooked over here. Yeah, can you look at us and tell us what we're doing wrong? Like how any animator looked at that or even anybody played that game and felt that the gunplay felt good doesn't know how to make. I'm sorry, you're bad. You're bad at your job. I'm sorry. Any person who was trying to give this game a fair, wanted this game to succeed, could have played this game for 10 minutes while it was in development and had been like, obviously this shit ain't it, Chief. It's not it. And I'm not trying to insult the devs because I know they try to do everything they probably did to try to make it as good as they could with whatever little time. But I really feel like this game was supposed to be one thing at one point, and it got changed so many times that it became it became a bunch of random shit that didn't make any sense. And instead of just cutting it off the board, which is what I think should have happened, they should have just canceled this game. I feel like that would have been what you said, TBH. More ammo about Microsoft being like, they can't release a game, they can't make games, and da-da-da-da-da. So they're like, fuck it, we'll just take the L and just release this and recoup what little money we'll get off of this, and we'll call it a day, and we'll move to the next thing. I think, this is my theory, I think there's another Arkane game that's already in development, hopefully Dishonored 3, that Arkane is actually working on, like the real game. Like after Deathloop, they worked on a real side, like maybe Dishonored 3. And they had their secondary amount of resources being used towards this Arkane game or this Redfall game. That's my conspiracy off. I agree with you. As a Game Pass Bishop, I am disappointed in this. This is not what should be releasing on the Game Pass. Like you said, it puts that agenda of like Game Pass has a bunch of mid shit. And I've said time and time again that a lot of my favorite games that have come out have been on Game Pass, and they have been for like last year. And this is not a good way to start. With Microsoft, you should be ashamed of yourself. It's crazy that Phil had to go on this whole ass apology spree. You should have never released this shit. I would have just taken the L, got laughed at. And I agree with you too. I don't care. Y'all can make all these arguments you want. What is it called? Starfield? This game has to come out, and it has to be as good as Skyrim. If it's not as good as Skyrim, this is an L. It doesn't matter. It can be a decent game, doesn't matter. If it doesn't bring that level of inspiration and just excitement factor that everyone had when they played Skyrim for the first time when it came out, it's an L. And this is a massive L for Microsoft. And that's all. And this is the person that defends them off a lot of shit that they've done. But no, this is an L, 100%.
I was joking on stream. I said, yeah, they got to drop Dishonored 3 to apologize, and it better be optimized.
And it better be
apologize.
Well, it's not. I don't know what it is. Their Void engine is ass on PC. Like Deathloop had issues. I crashed on Deathloop. Dishonored 2 had optimization issues on PC. I remember that. I don't know. Whatever over there, they're just not that good at making a PC port. I don't know what it is. They need to talk to id Software. Show them how they make Doom.
Damn
what
shame.
it is. Yeah.
World War Bethesda. Did y'all see the reports that first of all, I've never seen Phil Spencer and Todd Howard so quiet on social media. Them motherfuckers was an F-all.
I'd be hiding. I would not be.
Had to go into the bunker.
Phil was
Yeah.
quiet to that review, to that interview drop. They was real quiet that week when Redfall dropped.
Remember when Fallout 76 came out? Remember how like Todd Howard like disappeared for a good couple months? Like he was like he was gone after that. Him and when what's his name? The dude that was the big front dev for No Man's Sky. Remember how he just disappeared?
Yeah, what was his name?
Sean Murray.
Murray,
he was just getting slandered, so he was like, you know what? I'm gonna just let the internet like just shit on me, and I'm just gonna disappear, and we're just gonna make the game, fix the game, and make it better.
Freaking
yeah.
Did y'all see the reports that apparently Phil Spencer only played Redfall for 37 minutes and
I don't blame him.
And then he uninstalled it.
I don't blame him.
I said, this nigga watch my videos. Let's go. Uninstall that shit, boy.
I played this shit for 3 hours, and even I was just like grasping for any straw I could to just make me want to keep going, but I didn't care. There's no reason I cared.
They knew it was a terrible product because you already know if any game dev tells you to not put out any reviews until like the day of or the day before, you know it's bad. And that's exactly what happened here. And they were like, I don't know why they're doing that. And sure enough, as soon as the day came, we're just getting shit on left and right, and for good reason.
Yeah, the only reason I didn't get upset about this game is because like it's on Game Pass, and then also I didn't care about the game in the first place, but you have been warned. This game is not very good. So if you want to try it, because it's on Game Pass, try it at your own, discrepancy.
To be fair, I don't think it's going to be the worst game that.
Oh wait, what do you think that is?
Oh, you gotta okay.
I don't know yet. I have to see all the games come out, but I have a feeling it's not going to be the worst game. I feel like once they fix the bugs and stuff, I don't think it's necessarily like one of the worst games I've ever played. Like I wouldn't say like, oh, this is one of the worst games I've ever played in my life. Like I've played some really fucking bad games. I don't think this game reaches that point yet, but I say it's teetering. Like right now, if I had to review it, I'd give it a 5. I think if they fix it all up and they do some little quality of life stuff, maybe it gets to a 6. Maybe there's some fun with the co-op. But I'm going to get you, TBH, because you were shit talking Dead Island 2. And Dead Island 2 is the better game. So Dead Island 2 is not a bad game.
Well, first of all, you can't get on me because I said in my uninstall video and on stream, I said I'd like to apologize to Dead Island 2. I was like, just so we're clear, Dead Island 2 just wasn't worth the 10-year wait. It was terribly generic, but Redfall is definitively worth. Dead Island 2 is a better game than Redfall, without a doubt.
Yeah, so congratulations, Dead Island. You dodged the bullet. You're not going to get labeled it.
Congratulations. You guys finished top of the class on the short bus, whatever. Let's see. Redfall. Oh, another major game that we're probably not going to talk too much about because these two don't play any games is the Legend. Don't play
any kitty games.
Oh, somebody's got an agenda. We're about to talk about Legend of Zelda, the Tears of the Kingdom. The follow-up to the beloved Breath of the Wild for the Nintendo Switch. People have been waiting years for this. This is like a 100+ hour game. And this one, it's basically just an expansion of Breath of the Wild, but now they have like this new building mechanic, whole new story. I mean, it is a brand new game. I don't want to say like a straight Breath of the Wild, but it takes the foundation of Breath of the Wild. And it takes it to like a whole new level, and like it's been getting 10s across the board. I think maybe like the lowest score I've seen is like a 9.5. But what's that agenda you wanted to push, Jay? What you talking about? Kitty games for Tizzy King?
Bro, that's why you got a video made on you years ago, man. So all you do is play Dragon Ball Z and Zelda. See, you keeping up with it. You fall into the agenda. So there you go. He got you.
Hey, that Dragon Ball Z and Zelda pay my bills. I bet that 2K don't. But I bet he wish he played Dragon Ball Z and Zelda now. What was I about to say? Tears of the Kingdom. I'm the only one that's played it. So like I'll talk about it a little bit. I will say like I got like 4 hours on the game. I'll say this is a game of the year contender. Very expansive. You want to explore the world. Very colorful. Very inviting and almost kind of like Elden Ring vibes. Not quite the same because I felt like level design is a little bit better. Although the level design is cool in this too. Like there's a lot of elevation in this one compared to the last one. That's why you got to build vehicles because it's very expansive. You can go up and down a lot all over the place. But a very inviting world that you want to explore, and it rewards you from exploring based off of what I played so far. It rewards you with a lot of upgrades, things that you're gonna need apparently for the final boss fight. So far the puzzles have been fun, but I will say this is one of those games like don't play it when you're tired. The first hour that I played, I was tired. I had just finished all the bounties on Jedi Survivor, so I was kind of mentally fried because some of those final boss fights for the bounties are pretty tough. So then I played Tears of the Kingdom for like an hour and I wasn't feeling it just because I was tired. But then like, I'm not gonna lie, one of my criticisms about this game is the controls are dog shit. They're the polar opposite of intuitive. You gotta hold this button plus the D-pad, then move it. It's you get better. Like I'm competent, I'm doing much better now, but it's like this is not one of those games you're gonna be able to just pick up within like the hour. It's gonna and everybody, when I was streaming it, everybody said the same thing. They were like, yeah, the controls are kind of like it's gonna take some while to getting used to, but once you get used to them, there's fun to be had here. My main complaint with this game right now so far is the optimization, like, and it's not even the game itself, it's the Switch hardware. When did the Switch come out? Like 2016? When did that shit come out? Nintendo Switch release date, I don't know, it's been like 6-7 years. The game, I've been calling it Tears of the Frame Rate because this game, yo, it dips below 30 all the fucking time, dog. And I was talking about it, I was alluding to it a little bit early in the stream, but it just blows my mind how biased people are. Like, people love Nintendo so much that they're like almost, I even put in the group chat, I was like, yo, is this game really a 10? At this point, I hadn't played it. I was like, is it really a 10 or is it a 10 because people are afraid to criticize it? Something can be great and still have issues. And one of the biggest issues in this is not my opinion. This game, objectively, the frame rate, the way it runs, it's very subpar. It's constantly running at like 20 something frames, 15 frames, just chugging. Anytime there's an explosion, anytime there's any type of clash or like big special effect, there's a slowdown for me. And then also the draw distance. The game is colorful and vibrant, but then like it's super muddy in the distance. So like there's sections in the game where I feel like it's completely ruined because of the hardware. And like one example is, early on you get a glider, and in that glider you're just high in the sky and it gives you like that look at our graphics moment where you're supposed to see everything in the world. But the problem is it's very colorful and vibrant, but you can't really see anything because the draw distance is so fucking blurry. And I'm just like, bro, this needs a remaster already for the Switch Pro or the Switch 2 whenever it comes out. So like that's my main criticism that I have so far. It's not even the game itself, it's the fact that the Switch cannot handle it. And there's no reason why the PC version, because it leaked online like 2 weeks before the game came out. There's no reason why.
No, it did not. Nope. No, it did not.
Allegedly, no.
No, it did not.
Allegedly.
Anybody over here played it?
Nintendo,
allegedly.
Nintendo, I bought it. I did not use an emulator. I am playing on the Switch. Okay? Trust me, you can't miss that frame rate on my stream.
Man, so with his face score, it literally goes into your point though. Have we ever heard anything like objectively bad about any Mario or Zelda game? Like ever? Like I don't think we've heard anything super bad about those games. Like I don't think that every game is perfect. But like if you say one bad thing about, you know, any of Nintendo's beloved franchises, like those two in particular, I don't think Nintendo would like that. So I think people are legit scared, and then people want to stay in Nintendo good graces. So I mean, like I said, for those, you can say the whole thing, but objectively, people don't say anything bad about those two franchises.
So to give context too, for those unaware, like not only is Nintendo notorious for like shutting down people who have like ROMs and stuff like that, Nintendo is also notorious in the industry for being very stingy with review copies of, because like for the way content creation works is you want to be first to market. So like dropping a review a month after the game isn't going to be the same as dropping it 3 days before it comes out, because you have early access to it. You want to be first to market, and Nintendo is very stingy with the codes they give out. Even when I was working at G4, they was not giving codes like that compared to every other company. So like I think the people who have relationships with Nintendo, kind of like what JG was saying, I feel like they just scared to criticize them. And like I feel like it's a completely fair criticism that the game runs poorly. And to me, it can't be if it was like just little stutters like here and there, I'm not gonna bitch about that because nothing is like perfect. But I'm like, yo, mind you, you can craft arrows and put bombs on them and all this other shit. There's explosions all the fucking time. The frame rate is constantly dropping. I'm like, that's an objectively bad thing that can ruin an experience for somebody. Not to mention the game is too damn bright. So like, I think people are just scared to criticize them. But to kind of go back to what you were saying, JG, to be fair, Super Mario Odyssey was fucking fire. What was there criticized about that? Did you play that game?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I don't play kitty game, bro. I don't play kitty game, man. Man, grow up. Grow up.
I'm a defendant. Not only was Odyssey a fire game, but it was optimized out the woo. I had no problems with that game. I'm strictly talking about fucking Zelda. Like, I don't think you heard criticisms about Odyssey because that legitimately was a fucking great game. And Zelda is a good game, but it's held back by the hardware. Can we get a Switch 2, please? I'm not saying.
You feel like every Nintendo game is a kid game.
You played Astro Chain?
Yeah, you. Yeah, did you play Astro Chain?
No.
Did you play? Have you played a Metroid?
Yes. I ain't say every.
What you gonna do if your daughter want to Switch?
I ain't say. I mean,
she wanna
probably already got a
Switch. She already has one.
So you're not playing Luigi's Mansion with your daughter?
Didn't you just tell us that you play Mario Kart and you play Mario Party?
Luigi's Mansion is a great game.
Yeah.
And it was optimal.
Okay. Because those are party games.
Oh, so if they're party games, it's okay to play the kiddie games.
Yeah, those are party games. Yeah,
but if you play a single player game by yourself, then it's a kiddie game.
You're supposed to be on my side, bro. Mario and Zelda are a kid game, bro.
Look, I know.
Imagine being too tough to enjoy New Donk City, nigga.
That's
like
crazy.
I tell me that was not a classic moment when Paulina pulled up and started singing.
Oh my god. JG probably was in the movie theater watching Mario, like.
Right. Them niggas throwing Cooper shells? What the fuck? This shit lame.
This shit for kids. I'm in here because my daughter in here. I'm not here because I actually care about.
JG needs to embrace the.
Nah, I ain't playing it. On the legit note though, regarding Zelda, I just haven't been the biggest fan of it, so that's why I wasn't like, oh my god, like. And I'll tell you my story. Like, the only Zelda that I have played was Ocarina of Time. I didn't beat it because I never owned an N64, and I played Wind Waker, and I didn't even own a GameCube, so I don't remember how I played that. I probably borrowed a GameCube from somebody, so I wasn't interested in Breath of the Wild. I wasn't interested in this. What was the one that came out on the Wii? I don't remember the name of that one.
Skyward Sword.
Skyward Sword. Yeah, like I just wasn't interested in it. Yeah, I wasn't interested. I like Wind Waker, and Wind Waker is, sometimes regarded as one of the worst because it's a small Link, so, and it was a different style. But I actually kind of like
the sentiment on.
I'm just not into Zelda.
The sentiment on Wind Waker's changed. People hated it at first because the art style was different from like Ocarina of Time, but it's one of those things. Retrospect, everybody loves it now because the game is actually good. I kind of going back to talking about the game. I will say one thing that I really like about it is like the powers that I've unlocked so far. I haven't unlocked all of them, but they're really fucking cool. Like, you can phase through objects to move up into the environment, which causes for some like really cool environmental puzzles. And then like you get this building mechanic, which I like it, but then also on the flip side, it kind of goes back to what I was saying about the shitty controls, because you can combine anything.
Build mechs and stuff.
You can combine anything in the game. So like you can take, I had a shield and I put a rock in front of it to like reinforce it, like, or you could take your axe and put it on a spear. Like, you can literally turn it into anything you want. That's really fucking cool. But then also you can do engineering in the game, so you can craft things. You can make boats out of your little hand ability. Like, an example being I was in a mountain and I had to get from one side of the mountain to the other, and I couldn't figure out how to climb up. And like the chat was trying to help me, but like I was trying to figure it out for myself. I was being hard-headed. So then I found my own way. So then what I did was I cut down a bunch of trees and I stuck I glued the trees together, and I created a bridge that went across from one area, and I walked across. Like, that level of creativity is really fun, and I think that's really cool. And I was like, I understand why people like this game. It is 100% a great game. I don't want anybody thinking that like I don't like the game. I just hate how it's held back. And for me, it's hard to get something at 10 when the frame rate is stuttering all the fucking time.
Sound like a lot of work, my boy. It sound like they want you to create your own game.
You wasn't there when when Zelda revealed she was Sheik. You didn't enjoy that?
No, nigga, I don't care about Zelda.
This is crazy, bro. We're gonna have to put this man in a Nintendo concentration camp, and
I'm not putting on the minish cap. I ain't JD.
We're gonna have to, reprogram him.
Reprogramming necessary.
I'm good, man.
Check it out. There's nothing else to play on the Switch, so check it out.
That is true.
What's the name? Another thing that happened since the last podcast, there was a second beta. The day Tears of the Kingdom came out, the second beta for Diablo 4 dropped. A big stress test. They opened up all the classes. I didn't get a chance to play this, but I think y'all did, right?
I did.
Yeah. What's your second opinion on the beta for Diablo 4?
Well, I got in the queue in 0 seconds. There was no queue, so that was good. Everything was smooth. I was actually watching people, like seeing people running around in the hub world, and I was seeing people running around outside of it. That was something that I didn't see the first time. Like everything was just super laggy. So I think that they've done a better job with this stress test. It looks like they got those servers going. It was either that or just a lot of people weren't playing. I don't know about the very first day. So correct me if I'm wrong, but like I said, when I got into it last night, I didn't have to wait into a queue and all, and everything seemed optimized. I played a different class this time. I played the Druid. The first time I played the Necromancer. I like the Druid as well. The Druid is pretty fire. So like I like all the abilities you can do. Like I'm very excited about Diablo, and this is coming from a person that only played Diablo 2 a little bit. So for what I played on the second beta, I think it's gonna be dope. I tried not to get too far in what they allowed you to do in the second beta, because you only do like 2 main missions, and like I'm almost done with that. But the beta literally ends like tonight. But I definitely recommend it though for anybody who didn't get a chance to play the first beta. Obviously, when this podcast comes out, you won't be able to play it anymore. But if you got a chance, to play it in this one, I think that you'll be pleasantly surprised, especially if you don't normally play dungeon crawlers. This game is fire, so I can't wait to hop on it. With the GI crew and run through some dungeons. I think it's gonna be a good game.
I feel that. It's coming out this June alongside Street Fighter.
Yes, sir.
It's gonna be fire. So yeah, that's Diablo 4. Look out for that June. I didn't get a chance to play it because I was too busy trying to beat Jedi Survivor, and then I hopped right on.
No,
Zelda.
you were too busy. You were too busy creating things.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Making walkways.
Yeah, what's wrong with that? Like it taps into my inner childhood, allowing me to be creative.
Oh, you say you're still a child. You're still a child.
Yeah, why not? Like, instead of just crawling in dungeons, getting dust up your ass and big ass spiders and shit. Whatever.
What is Congratulations.
Moving on to the news side of things, this kind of goes into the Redfall conversation. So Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox, he kind of went into hiding, and then he came out of his hole and did an interview with the Xcast, which is kind of funny, his podcast. And it kind of made waves around the internet, kind of talked about Redfall, the future of Xbox, how he's feeling. Like Etho said, he went on a whole apology tour. Did y'all get a chance to actually look at that interview?
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm the bishop of the
he said, "I've had better weeks." Some key takeaways. I think the one that stood out to me in terms of takeaways was the kind of what Ethos was saying earlier about how they don't want to push against teams to force them to do what Microsoft wants, and they want to give them the creative. Basically, when they bring a platform, when they bring a studio into Xbox, they want to let them do whatever. And I thought that would be an interesting conversation because on the flip side of things, I remember there was a tweet when Jedi Survivor first came out. Somebody was like, "Why do you think that this game launched the way that it did?" And I was like, based off what I played, I was like, the game is really good. I think there's no way you can convince me Respawn doesn't care based off the product that they produced. I think they needed more time, but the publisher EA wanted it out at a certain date, and they forced their hand. And then people get mad at EA, but then on the flip side, publishers are a necessary evil because they fund the art because the artist isn't able to fund it themselves, and also they keep them on track. For those unaware, a lot of times with artists, if you let them work on their art, that shit will never come out. So sometimes they need like a businessman in the background and be like, "Yo, I need this." Then it kind of put that pressure on their ass. And I found it very fascinating that Phil was like, "Nah, we're just gonna let them do whatever." So I feel like on one end of the spectrum, you have EA, who's being too hard on Respawn and not giving them enough time to do what they want to do. And then on the flip side of the spectrum, you got Xbox, Microsoft, Phil Spencer just being like, just let them do whatever. And you kind of see what happens when you let them do whatever. You get Redfall. So was there any interesting takeaways that you guys had from this conversation on the podcast?
Yeah. Jesus Christ. This might be the first time that I disagree with Phil on some of his takes of what he was saying. I do agree that he is correct in saying what I'm talking about with like. I have been saying this for a while, and I've been saying that people that are trying to argue the console wars with Xbox are missing the entire point, and that Xbox isn't going in that direction. You're arguing like Blockbuster versus the home movie night versus like Netflix. Like it's not the same equivalence, and it's not even close. Xbox is in a different realm, and they understand that they know where the next frontier is, and they're trying to get there before the competition realizes it until it's too late. This is why I like all this acquisition work and like dealing with cloud and just getting digital and this, like basically video games is going through what like a lot of like movies and like Hollywood went through, which is the whole idea of digital and getting your content ASAP and streaming. Like these are core tenets that obviously, as you saw, Blockbuster fell because it didn't adapt it. This is why a lot of these other companies right now, and why Sony is hell bent to making sure this Activision deal doesn't work, and even arguing, saying "woe is us," because it shows with their digital offering they just weren't ready for this speed to go into that realm. I think that unfortunately there are laymen out there that at the end of the day believe they need a plastic box for them to believe that like they believe in a box, they need a console. But I think eventually we're gonna get at a point where like people are going to access data through like glasses or access games through faster forms of their technology, that like having a box that's physically in one place isn't going to work anymore. We're going to be in a place where eventually people want to be able to play their games anywhere. And
they're rolling out 5 and 10 gigabit internet like right now.
Yeah, this is what the future, there is no stopping this. This is what's going to happen. And if you want to stay behind and act like, if you want to hold back like what Nintendo does or what Sony's been kind of like very slow and very stubborn on doing, is like not starting to like foolproof your stuff now, then you're going to be behind. It seems like Microsoft's just like taking the L now. They're just like, we're going to start foolproofing our stuff for the future. And this is what they've been doing since like 28, since like Phil took over. I disagree with Phil on his take about the great games take. I think at the end of the day, you do need good games. I don't think simply giving me the features of just I can play most of my third parties anywhere I want is enough. If you want to move people to your platform, I think like you do still need to produce good games. You still need to have something that can compete with all of Sony's first party. There are people that are willing to get your stuff if you have a fire game that's exclusive to it. But if you don't, then it's not going to matter. So yeah, I just really disagreed with him on that. I think that's like a bad call to believe it. I think you need to have quality time game, period.
What about you, Jay? Any takeaways from the pod?
Yeah, so what Ito said, and then also the point when he was talking about the 12-month game plan, because that was what we praised Xbox for, Microsoft for last year. We saw that we were literally looking at, hey, this is what we have planned for 2023 and beyond, 2022 and 2023 and beyond, and yeah, they didn't deliver with that. So it needs to be some more communication about that. And yeah, showing 60 FPS PC footage, but then on the flip side, we get Redfall that said, "Oh, we're going to be 30 FPS." People are looking like, "What the f?" Like that's not a cool thing to present to everybody, get everybody on board, and then again, as a game is nearer release, you're saying, "Oh, it's going to be 30 FPS." Like there's nothing we can do right now. We need some more time. Like if that's truly the case, then you need to delay whatever title that it is, and you need to get it to a point where it's going to be 60 FPS. At this point in time, 30 FPS, even with console people, they've been dealing with it for so long, but 30 FPS is just it's a non-factor. Like anything that's 30 FPS, when it's not in a cinematic, that it's not going to work. It needs to be 60 FPS. That needs to be the standard, and it should have been the standard years ago, to be honest. But we get this next generation, and you're still talking about 30 FPS. That's kind of messed up. It's a slap in the face, especially to the Xbox people. So I fully understand, man. Like it's rough out there for them.
Yo, what you just said just reinforces my argument about Tears of the Kingdom. Where's that energy they had for sub 30 FPS with Redfall? It's not an issue with Nintendo games for whatever reason.
Yeah, like I said, I think they're shook, bro. Nintendo is the Yakuza, bro. They the Yakuza of the video game industry. They about to cut some heads off. You talk smack about their games, so it's bad. But yeah, they really need to show the same energy toward Nintendo games as well. So I agree with that. But yeah, with this with Microsoft, yeah, it was really bad for a lot of people. With this Redfall situation. So it really needs to not happen.
It's just been a rough few weeks for the Xbox camp, period, because news also broke that it's looking like the EU is going to block that deal for Activision and Microsoft. And then news came out. I saw this on my Twitter timeline. Legendary insider for gaming, Michael Pachter, he said that the UK gave Microsoft an out in terms of being able to get that deal done, but they said they have to promise they will not raise the price of Game Pass. So it's still kind of in limbo, but it's looking like that deal's not going to go through. How y'all feel about Xbox not getting that second Infinity Stone? After we've been talking about this for what I feel like every episode for the last year.
Not even done. It still could happen. That's the worst part. We're still not done.
So next time we'll talk about this.
I'm so tired. Yeah, can we just delay
Yeah, we're just I think we're just burnt out of this situation.
This is why
just give it to them or not, bro. Just lock it.
This is why America rebelled. Like the UK, y'all just be doing too much, bro. This is why
much.
This shit wouldn't happen in America.
That's why y'all lost y'all empire.
Yeah. I seen a funny ass TikTok that said that pretty much every country has damn near an Independence Day for the UK, and then I looked it up, and it's like 80 Independence Days for the UK. I did not know. I was like, holy shit!
Probably not like
God, bro, British people, what's going on with y'all? But yeah, so that joint got blocked. The one good piece of Xbox news in regards to Starfield, and this is just a rumor, none of this is confirmed. One good piece of Xbox news is some new details came out about Starfield, rumored details, revealing that the game will have drug use in game, and you'll be able to have sex on your jetpack. What's that doing for you, Jay?
Oh man, game of the year right there. That's all I needed with jetpack sex. We out here.
You guys think it'll be action based or it'll be kind of like a QTE?
So like a BioWare type cutscene, or
not gonna be a QTE, no.
I don't know.
I'm thinking BioWare.
You can also get an STD too, so you can get alien herpes in the article.
Holy,
that's crazy, bro.
I'm not gonna lie. If you can really get alien herpes in this game, hopefully you can spread it. I'll just ruin the fucking galaxy, man. I'm just gonna ruin it. Why not? That's how I play my game.
That's wild.
That's how I play my game.
Aren't you gonna get arrested for that? That's illegal.
Hey, yo.
No, it's illegal on Earth. We're not.
It's very illegal in space. That's messed up.
The rules are different in space, baby. At least I think.
You are wildin'.
I mean, but these rumors were make the game a little bit more intriguing for me. Not the jetpack sex and the STD.
Oh, that's awesome! Game of the year, baby.
But it sounds like if you're able to do drugs and stuff like that, then this game might be more expensive than we thought. Yeah. So we'll see.
What's the name? Other news, freaking Warner Bros. CEO teases a potential Superman game when talking about Hogwarts Legacy and revealing some analytics in terms of some sales. He was hinting at other games inside of the DC universe, specifically Superman. I was thinking about it, I was like, what? The problem with Superman is he's so overpowered. Like, how do you make a game out of that? And like, the only thing I could think of is everybody he encounters has kryptonite, but then that's a stupid story. So like, how do you balance a Superman game? Do we just let him fly through the rings again?
Oh Lord,
was that for balance? Now that we think about it, Superman 64.
Maybe that was the closest that they could think about to it being a decent game without you just running through everybody. And this is always the problem, like you said. Like, we've had plenty of conversation about potential Superman games, and people want it, but it's like, would you have fun? Would it actually be a fun experience? I don't know. Yeah,
because in like, I'm taking like some creative writing classes, and I'm paraphrasing, but the basic concept of like a story is like what I think they refer to as the hero's tale, where you start off with some type of humble beginnings, then your hero has some type of adversity where it forces them to level up, and then they eventually overcome it. The problem with Superman is he has no hero's tale. He's an alien who gets his power from the sun. And he just becomes a god. Like, what's the struggle? Nigga never struggled until he met Bruce Wayne and he put that goddamn kryptonite bullet in his ass. So it's like, or General Zod, I guess, because he's that's another Kryptonian. So it's like, I don't know how you balance that game. That would be my main. Y'all need to focus on fixing Suicide Squad. How about that? Superman's supposed to be in that, right? Fix that.
He is.
Yeah. There are other heroes that you can do. There are other DC characters that you can make.
Such as?
I mean, Flash. Like, you can do Flash by himself.
That nigga can go back in time, bro.
You want another Batman game?
No.
Another one?
I'll tell you what game also I don't want. Streamers, they're making a game called Project V. Go ahead and get an article on this one. So Project V, it is a new battle royale game being funded by Courage, Nick Merckx, Ninja, and Cypher PK, and Tim the Tatman. They're funding a studio, and they're working on a game they announced on Twitter called Project V. It has official Twitter. If you sniff around the website, they said, we're a band of friends, gamers, and fellow content creators that are passionate about battle royales. Since 2016, we played every BR on the market, competed at the highest level, and collectively built an audience and community of over 140 million. We know what makes a battle royale great. With the launch of the Unreal editor for Fortnite in March 2023, it sparked inspiration in all of us. So this is a recent idea. Immediately, we huddled together to brainstorm, and we all came to the same conclusion. Let's create our own battle royale game. I'm going to go ahead and take the helms on this one. I don't give a fuck. Not only do I not give a fuck, I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. I get that these guys are popular, but friendly reminder, these guys are content creators. They're not game developers. It's a completely different skill set. And right off rip, why I don't believe in this shit is they don't even understand the industry. BRs are dead, nigga. Why would you make a game about a dead... Like, Apex is hanging on by a thread. You see what's going on with that rank system. Warzone dead as fuck. They talk about Modern Warfare 3 already. So I'm like, and then the image that they released, it looks like Fortnite. Did y'all take a look at the image that they released?
I thought it was Fortnite creative. Did I miss?
I mean, they are using a UEFN, so
yeah, it's supposed to be an original game though.
It's probably just you're using Fortnite's foundational code, and they're just giving it different.
So do you think?
Because literally said the battle royale made in UEFN. So
it's based.
What do these 5 internet superstars need to do to revitalize the BR? Do you believe in
nothing?
This?
They're gonna make literally Fortnite 1.0. That's what they wanted. That's all.
Which apparently was already done. I think somebody already did that. They made the original Fortnite in there. So what are they going to do differently?
Revert things back to how it used to be, where everyone was like, it's just nostalgia glasses.
Double pump shotties.
Yeah. Go back to the OG shit, and maybe we'll add some 1-2 things that we biasly, obviously, we like the most. So probably it.
Yeah, hard pass for me. I think I predict it'll have a moment whenever it comes out, but will it sustain? I would be shocked. But then again, I could be wrong. The game could end up looking fucking awesome. Who knows? You know what looked kind of awesome? This new game called Chrono Odyssey. It's a new MMORPG that is supposed to be coming to the PlayStation 5. Reminded me a little bit of Black Desert Online. Did you guys get a chance to take a look at this trailer?
Yes, I sent it to you in the.
Yeah, they said in the description, explore the breathtaking wilderness of Satera. An open world full of life and constant changes await you. Engage in combat with challenging foes and hone your skills, attack, defense, dodging, range, blah, 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 and utilize incredible powers to manipulate time and space to your advantage, freezing time, rewinding events, and exploring further in ways you never thought was possible. I think and this made a little bit of noise online. I think the reason this trailer kind of caught everybody's attention, including Ethos, because he linked it, was the combat. It was more action-based. But what spoke to you about this trailer, Ethos?
It just looked cool, but I got a feeling just like Black Desert, I don't feel like it's going to catch my attention.
Level 20 and quit, baby.
Yeah, I'll play it and be like, oh, look at the graphics, it's so cool, and then I'll install it a little bit after. That's usually how these type of games go, but I do think it looks cool and the world looks cool. So just thought I'd, give it a little
I thought the combat looked cool, but then I saw this was a PS5 game, and I said, yeah, all right, nigga. Until this game comes out, I don't believe it. If this would have been because MMOs are a PC thing, and there's so many different things, hoops they got to jump through with the console to get this to work, and MMOs are always weird on console. Seeing is believing for me. Is this going to be optimized? How is it going to run? Bunch of Wi-Fi warriors still on console. I don't know. What'd you think of it, Jay?
They're gonna be yelling at you through the controller still.
But
no, I think that the trailer did look dope. But again, the trailer is only 1/2 of the entire product. So we will see when the game initially does release. Because in the beginning, sequels that they were showing, like 101, it kind of like almost looked like an Elden Ring type of thing for a minute. And then they start showing the parts later on as you have like multiple people running through and doing raids on bosses. So yeah, we shall see. But this definitely does not look like it's going to be the best if this is only on the consoles. So hopefully, whatever ends up happening with this, it also comes on the PC. And then I may be a little bit more interested in it, but it does look good from initial trailer. So we shall see if this ends up being something that people will not only pick up but stick with. But looks promising.
There was another game that was recently announced too. It actually comes from Game Freak. For those unaware, that is the developers behind the Pokemon series. They're working on a new game that currently has a working title of Project Bloom. And in this article, it states that they teamed up with Take-Two Interactive, famously for publishing the Grand Theft Auto series. They're working on Project Bloom, and they said it's going to be bold and tonally different. We're thrilled to have an opportunity to create a new IP that is bold and tonally different from our prior work. From the beginning, Private Division was the publisher. Private Division is a subsidiary of Take-Two Interactive. We wanted to work with on our new game. Their new track record and global expertise will give us all the confidence in creating a sweeping new action adventure game. Can't wait to share you more. And apparently, they shared this image, and what it looks like is it's some type of samurai game. This made a little bit of waves on the internet because, like I said, Game Freak is known for Pokemon. I made a video at TikTok about this, and some people corrected me. Apparently, they've made another game, and it tanked. It's called Little Town Hero. It's called Little Town Hero, and it came out in 2019. I've never heard of this fucking game. So in my video, I had said, I'm like, samurai game, new game from the Pokemon developers. That's cool. But I'm going to remain cautious about this one because I've never seen them make anything about Pokemon besides Pokemon. And to be fair, I really haven't cared about Pokemon games for a while because they just the formula's kind of gotten tired for me. And then people in the comments were like, well, they've made another game. It's called Little Town Hero. And it's ass. And I was like, well, that reinforces my point. They're a one-trick pony, and they tried something new, and it was ass. So, like, I got to see a trailer. I'm not going to say this game is going to be bad. It could be good. I want to see a trailer before I get any type of excitement for it. But what about y'all?
I don't care.
I'm looking at Little Town Hero right now, and yeah, I can see why. Yeah, I didn't know that either. I literally just saw that they made Pokemon. The little still screenshot does look okay, but again, I am cautiously optimistic about it. But I mean, action adventure, Little Town Hero, from what I can see, is not action adventure. It's turn based. So I'm definitely intrigued with it being action adventure. So let's just see. Let's wait and see what happens. And if they fail again, then we know they can't do shit but Pokemon. That'll be it. So we shall see. This is definitely out of their wheelhouse, but maybe Take-Two will help them, make a decent action adventure game. At least they are, on the contrary to what you were talking about, Ethos and TBH with Redfall and, the people who they can reach out to. It looks like Game Freak is actually, already reaching out to a developer that has experience with action adventure games. So maybe we'll get a good product.
I hope it's good. Samurais, we love samurai shit. So,
yes, sir.
I don't. Sick of it.
Yeah,
you a damn liar. Says the man. He can't call Samurai Zero.
Oh my goodness. What does it say? Another piece of news. Mortal Kombat 1 is reportedly rumored to be the next Mortal Kombat. And that confused the fuck out of me. And then I remembered at the end, because Mortal Kombat 11 came out a while ago. At the end of Mortal Kombat 11, the whole world got reset. So I was like, okay, Mortal Kombat 1 does make sense. So this rumor might be true. It's also rumored to be targeting a September release. The reveal will be imminent. So maybe soon after this podcast will drop it, we might actually get an official trailer. So if it has dropped by the time this comes out, we apologize. We recording, in the past and shit. And then it's also rumored DLC characters featuring Peacemaker and Homelander coming to PS5, Xbox Series, and Nintendo Switch, which I'll seeing is believing for me on the Switch, because didn't Mortal Kombat 11 run like dog shit on the Switch too? Like, this next gen one, you're gonna put that on there? Oh my lord. How we feeling about this? A little Homelander? Aren't you a big boys fan, Jay?
Yeah, the boys is lit. Now, Homelander, I think, especially from the last 2 or 3 Mortal Kombat that have come out, the guest characters have always been dope. So yeah, if Homelander comes in, even Peacemaker might end up being dope. Like that seems like within the wheelhouse of what Mortal Kombat has been doing as far as guest characters. I have been so disconnected from the Mortal Kombat story that once I saw the trailer and saw people breaking it down, I was like, oh, so we're literally doing a reset. So this is going to be interesting because Mortal Kombat, I mean, like, damn, they made 11 of them, and now it's going to start over. Like, usually the refresh or reboot happens after 3 or 4. So this is definitely a very bold way that the MK developers are going with this one. So we shall see. But yeah, all the people, they correct me. They were like, oh yeah, like after the events of Mortal Kombat 11, like this makes total sense that they're just refreshing the timeline. It just got rebooted. So we shall see. I think that this is going to be dope. Though obviously we got to see some gameplay, but I think the overall sentiment will be positive for this.
I think calling it Mortal Kombat 1, if that turns out to be true, it can end up causing some issues. I think ultimately it'll be fine because Mortal Kombat is a legacy brand, but like I can see it causing some PR issues and like confusion. Be like Mortal Kombat 1, like what? Like I think it'd have been better to maybe call it like Mortal Kombat Genesis or something, like because it's supposed to be like a new beginning. But who knows? I think Homelander and Peacemaker, if that actually ends up being true, that's completely believable. They're both very brutal.
Peacemaker's the DC dude, right?
Yeah, that's John Cena.
John Cena's character, yeah,
with the big ass pistol. They're both very brutal characters, so that makes complete sense for Mortal Kombat. I actually believe this rumor to be true. It feels real. It could be wrong, but this feels real. I can see it.
I can totally see it.
Yeah. So this got me a little bit excited. I'll play it for like a week or two, beat Nomad, then drop it. You know how that go. We'll be back on that Street Fighter World Tour.
Continues.
The cycle continues of violence. I talked about it a little bit earlier. Modern Warfare 3 is rumored to be the next Call of Duty, which is supposed to complete the trilogy of the remakes of Modern Warfare. So Modern Warfare 3 is based off the remake of Modern Warfare 2, which is based off the remake of the original Modern Warfare, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. How you feeling about all this Modern Warfare, Jay? I see you laughing.
Because the way that you said like this completes the trilogy of remakes, I'm like, damn. Like, you already talked about confusion of Mortal Kombat 1 after 11 came out, and now we got a trilogy of reboots. That's crazy. I mean, it's Modern Warfare. Like I don't have any thoughts about this.
It's rumored. Wait, let me give you some details. It's rumored that zombies are coming back, and then next gen and last gen consoles, and the new map for Warzone is gonna have a new one. It's gonna be supposedly the Los Alamos map from Modern Warfare 2. So they're gonna repurpose that for the third game and make it bigger. What's that doing for you?
What story, bro? Whatever.
It's making me believe
it's a social game, and that's it.
It's making me believe the rumors that came out a couple months ago about how they were going to release DLC for Modern Warfare 2, and they decided, wait a minute, we could make this a full game. It's making me think this is actually true because the rumor is the Los Alamos map from Modern Warfare 2, they're going to turn it into the Warzone 3.0 map. I'm like, oh, so we're just reusing assets for DLC and then calling it a new game? Yeah.
It's very smart and very good show. Yeah, GG's, bro.
Boy, good old Activision. And you know the crazy part is, this is the company that Microsoft is fighting for that we talk about for the last 7 episodes.
And this is also the company that Sony they just want us to believe that without Call of Duty that they're gonna fail. Like this is stupid.
Y'all better stop.
Look at what they're doing.
Y'all better stop. Y'all also better stop fucking with these companies. Bungie just won a lawsuit. Major creator of cheats and hacks. They won a case and they won a $16 million settlement. This guy that was creating the hacks is going to have to pay $16 million. Y'all better stop. Hey, maybe Nick Merckx was right. Maybe the guy sent him out of jail, bro. They hit their ass with a RICO, bro. They hit their ass with a RICO.
That's crazy, bro. Like when we hear about RICO, we think about drug dealers and rappers and shit, but not hackers, dog.
Man, y'all hackers, I don't understand, man. Just get good at the game, bro. Just wanted to put that out there. I don't have no hot takes. Oh, and then last but not least,
I didn't know that hackers. Hold on, I didn't know that hackers even were going that hard on Bungie games, on Destiny.
Oh, they are.
Like that's damn. Well,
Just one more reason not to play it. Last piece of news in the news section, the Asus Ally, the pre-order numbers have come out. Not pre-order numbers, but the price. People were wondering how much it will be compared to the Steam Deck, and I wanted to get your take on this. The base model will be $699. How you feeling about that, Ethos?
I mean, it's good for competition. I think it's a good price for, if you're saying it's twice as powerful as a Steam Deck, I think that's good, but I don't think that's going to convince a lot of like casual buyers. I think it's for enthusiasts. They'll be like, oh yeah, sure, I'll do that. Like, you know, I thought about it. I was like, yo, I have 2 Steam Decks. I might.
Wait, why do you have 2?
Game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was considering like, oh, maybe I'll sell one of them and then I'll use the second one. And with that money, I'll get a ROG. Good, but I got to see some reviews with it. I think, you know, I have Asus products. I've had Asus in the past, and I think they're really solid. ROG products have been pretty solid for me. I haven't had no issues with them, but I just got, you know, you just got to see how the reviews go with it and all that. You know, if it's good, I might make it a Destiny machine or whatever.
The last Asus product I bought was a monitor. It was a 27-inch 1080p 120 hertz monitor. This was like maybe 6 years ago. And it burnt out. It stopped working a week later. Just stopped working.
Damn.
And I ended up buying BenQ monitors, and I've had them ever since. So I don't really fuck with Asus. Wasted my money.
That's crazy, bro.
My first ultra wide was from Asus.
Haven't shared that same experience, brother. I got 3 Asus monitors right now. Never did me bad.
Zelda would look real good on that Asus monitor. It would look real. You can see all the lack of textures on it, bro. Moving on to the social justice warrior news section of the show, JG's favorite. One story that was making the rounds is IGN posted a clip which got deleted because it got a lot of hate. And in the clip, some producers or on-air talent from IGN were talking about why they don't review certain games. And basically the gist of it was, if we've never heard of your game, we probably wouldn't review it, and it probably isn't good anyway. So basically, if your game isn't making headlines, they're not going to really give it any more clout. As a resident, and this pissed a lot of people off because they were like, you know, what about whether or not the game is good? What about being a tastemaker, especially because IGN's been in the business so long? You guys are supposed to be tastemakers. Why not? We get you have to cover the popular stuff, but why not take the time to put some cool stuff on, you know, and build your brand even more and build credibility with gamers, and just, you know, also sharing dope shit, you know, rising tides raise all ships, and just raising the culture. So they ended up deleting the clip off their socials, but, you know, people downloaded it. You was able to listen to it. You can search it if you want to. Just search that quote. How you feeling about IGN saying if your game ain't got no clout, they don't give a fuck, JG? And fuck you too.
I mean, the great the crazy thing about this clip is this has been what's going on, like, in not only in the video game industry but everywhere. Like, if they haven't heard of you, yeah, they're not going to talk about you. I feel like that's kind of obvious. But this is IGN that we're talking about, and like your spiel is to review games, like, and they don't have to always be AAA games. Like, there's any games, and if there are, in like even in G4, like what you said, there are certain people that review certain games. Like, you go out and look for those games. If the game is interesting enough, like whether it's good or bad, like if it's interesting enough, then, you know, if you are interested in a game, if that's your niche, then you will talk about that game or you review that game because it's your niche. Like, all you have to do is just find people whose niche is indie games or a certain area, certain genre of indie games, and just go out and find them. You can literally just have scouts, just pay scouts just to look for these indie games that are around and then talk about it. Like, you don't have to get the, you know, the biggest person in your area, in your brand to talk about a game. But the part that really pissed people off was it's probably not that good anyway. It's just like, damn, like, if you haven't heard of it, that means that doesn't automatically mean that it's not good. Like, even in the music industry, like, there are a lot of artists out there that are making music. Just because you haven't heard of them doesn't mean that their music isn't good. So that's kind of a messed up thing to say, and understandably so. Why they got bullied, you know, that they ended up deleting the tweet. So that's really the messed up part. But the first part, I mean, in real life, like, that's something that just these big brands do anyways. They're not going to talk about or cover a subject on anything if they haven't heard of it or if it's not making waves in whatever industry that they're in. So
yeah, it's a business play. Like, they have to serve content that they know is going to get clicks because they have bills to pay and lights to keep on. So I completely understand that's the game that you do have to play. On the flip side, I understand why people got on their ass, and it's the last line. It probably isn't good anyway. Like, that doesn't, just because it doesn't have clout doesn't mean it's not good. And with that logic, it comes across as all they care about is money. And then also on the flip side too, if it, like, let's use a game like, let's not forget, IGN didn't blow up Minecraft. GameSpot didn't blow up Minecraft. Wasn't it like Captain Sparkles and like PewDiePie?
CNanners.
Those were YouTubers, right? And it's because they gave a game that nobody knew a chance because they thought it was dope, and it turned out to be one of the most influential games of all time. And now they report on it whenever there's a new 8K texture pack or Minecraft Legends. They report on it because it has clout. So it's one of those things that's like, it's kind of like you forgot where you came from. It's like, yo, chill. If this shit is dope, show it love. Because at the end of the day, right, if you first to market on it and you find it first, it's gonna clout you up. So it's like, you know, you got to find that balance. We get it. You got to get those clicks. But I get why people were mad. I thought this was a distasteful comment. And, you know, I don't know who let that shit leave the editor's room. That shit was dumb as hell. Any takes, Ethos?
I agree. It's stupid. Samurai Zero has been featured on IGN already, so I don't qualify for that category. But yeah, it's
you said you got clout.
Yeah, I have clout. No, I think it was bad. I agree with you. I think there's been tons of indie games that IGN, the big guys, have never given the light of day, but it was actually YouTubers or, you know, who gave a game a shot, and that's what blew up their clout, if you will. By giving them a shot and realizing that they were really good games. I mean, how many indie games have we heard that like came out of nowhere? We're just like, why are all these people playing this fucking game? And it's like because some YouTuber, Twitch streamers were just starting to play it.
Yeah, that's why people they trust new media, independent media now. Like we don't look to IGN and GameSpot, you know, as the end all be all for our games that, you know, you may have never heard of, or whatever game that you're anticipating, you know, what they think about it. Like people look towards other people now, more reputable people, more relatable people who give games a fair shake, you know, for their information nowadays. You know, look at us, like you all come to us, like we have an audience that listens to us for our opinions on these games, and you know that we're always going to play everything fair. So
yeah, you played Mario and Zelda fair?
Yeah, I didn't play him at all.
Oh shit!
Fair for me.
Oh my goodness, man.
Yeah, true.
We gotta get JG a Luigi hat for Christmas, man.
Yeah, absolutely not. I'm gonna burn it. No, I give it to my daughter.
Oh my
or my
goodness.
son. I'm on the way, so I give it to him.
True. Hold on. You put it in the Discord. You put it on Twitter. You might as well say it on the podcast for the people who ain't following the social medias, which you should be.
Yeah, you should be. So yeah, I got another little one on the way. So it's going to further my agenda. I'm not going to be playing any games at all.
Your son's going to come to you one day, like in 2 years. Daddy, I think Mario looks cool. Luigi's Mansion 4 looks awesome. Can we play? Like, you not going to play with him?
I would never do that. Of course I'm going to play the games. Come on now. I'm just not playing it myself. I'm not taking the time to play it myself. I'm sorry. I'm just.
You sound like me in Disney World, basically.
So what legend is this kid gonna play? Since you're already, now you got 2, you need 1 more for the Apex. So, and then you need 2 more. You need 3 more.
You know what, Ethos?
I'm done, dog. I'm not
going to bored. Hey, when Lil Mans is bored, I don't care what's on that registry. I'm gonna get him a Switch, bro. And be like, hold that for when he can play it. When he like 2 or 3, we're gonna get a copy of Kirby. That game real easy. He can play it.
Don't need another one, man. I got one. It's fine.
Oh my goodness. Last piece of social justice warrior news. This is some good news. Riot Games, which has been in hot water for a lot of fuck shit. They have been ordered to pay and compensate over 1,500 women for gender discrimination inside of the workplace. According to IGN, the over 1,500 women will get an initial payout between $2,500 and $5,000, with additional damages up to cap to $40,000, depending on the situation. You know, for years now, they've been accused of racism, gender discrimination, you know, all the corporate shit. And it looks like the ladies are catching a W. As our residential social justice warrior, Jay, what's this doing for you?
I mean, it's good. It's good. I hope that this changes, the culture not only at Riot Games but everywhere in the video game industry. Yeah, because that's a lot of money that you have to pay out. That's a lot of people that claim that they got that they got discriminated in. Shout out to them for actually ruling in form of all of the claimants, because I said, damn, that's a lot of people, man. Like, just think about all the people who said that something was going on within this publisher. So I mean, it's good. It's nothing but a W there for everybody that are getting paid for what was going on. So hopefully this changes stuff. But like I said, I haven't heard any like turnarounds yet. After this stuff popped up and people are still playing Riot Games, like it caused them quite disturbed. But people can't stop playing Valorant. That never stopped. People can't stop playing any other Riot game. So. So it didn't really change anything as far as the overall climate of people wanting to play the video games after hearing this stuff. So we'll see, but it's cool. That's cool. So hopefully this makes way across the industry.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, I mean, that's all I got on my show notes. Do you guys want to add anything to the conversation before we wrap this one up? Anything I forget?
Nope.
Looking like a note. Okay, well, Ethos, you got the show floor. What is your closing statement for Game and Illuminati episode 142? Go.
Thanks, guys, for watching or listening, and thanks, guys, for supporting the Discord. We're doing good stuff. And I watched the movie Knock at the Cabin, or the Shamalama movie.
And Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, Shamalama. And I enjoyed
killer.
It. Yeah, I watched it earlier today, and I actually enjoyed it. So yeah, check that movie out.
Is that the movie about killing Nazis?
No, that's the movie about the family that's in the cabin, and they hit a knock on the door, and it's like 4 people.
There was a movie somebody tried to put me on. They was like killing Nazis. It looked like a Quentin
Tarantino.
Talking about the one,
John Wick.
It was like John Wick, but they was killing Nazis. I meant to watch that. What is that shit called?
See, it started with an S. I know what you're talking about.
I'm gonna Google it. I'm gonna know that. Did y'all see Guardians of the Galaxy 3?
No.
Yep.
I haven't watched it.
Did you like it, Jay?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, go see it.
No. He didn't say it was the best Marvel film, so people got on his ass.
Definitely not the best Marvel film.
What's the best Marvel film?
Still, it's still in between. To me, Civil War or Endgame.
See, in both of those movies, Captain America was a prominent character. That's why he likes it, because his head is as big as Cap's shield. JG, what's your closing statement for episode 142? Go.
First of all, I hate you. That was a terrible reach. I really like this man be trying.
Yeah, every episode he's got to get
don't hurt.
Well, anyway, what will be like almost at the 2-hour mark. So in case you didn't hear it already, Ethos said it, TBA said it in the beginning. Join the Discord. Wait, if you're not in the Discord already, what are you doing? What are you doing? This month is about to be crazy. We literally got the Apex Community Night coming up next week. We got the Tekken 7 tournament. We literally just got done. Literally this month, we did the Wings and Bookie fight, and we did the UFC watch party. Like, we're lit right now. We have 4,500 members, over 4,500 members right now. We literally grew almost 5 times the amount of people that we had in a freaking month. Are you kidding me? Join the Discord, join the community, see what everybody has going on. You're gonna be missing out. Once the community tournament, especially this first tournament that we're doing, if you're not a part of it, you're gonna catch FOMO. So go ahead and join right now. Go ahead and support us, because we're gonna get just better and better and better, and we're gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger in this Discord. So
what role do they need?
Oh, you said what?
Joining.
What role do they need in order to do the tournament?
Oh, tuning, I believe. That's the middle one, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So it'll be a $10 fee for clarification for those who want to be a part of it. And once again, the reason being is because this is solely for the Discord.
Money.
This is not, there's a lot of money involved. So it's like, in order to sustain certain, I'm putting up $1,500 of my own damn money. The community raised $1,500, so I matched it. So it's like, if I'm going to invest in y'all going to have to invest in us. So come on through to the Discord, discord.gg/GI updates. Also, to add on to what JG was saying about the Discord, not only do we have thousands of people in there and like everybody's chatting in all the different rooms and learning and memeing it up, but there's been no drama. I think that's the best part about it. I was worried about when we opened it up to everybody, because it is free to join the Discord. We have paid tiers as well. But we were kind of worried about that, but we've had no issues. Like, everybody's been cool as hell. So shout out to everybody in the community coming in and being civilized. I think it's because our audience is a little bit older. We don't really have like that kiddie audience, although you guys are welcome too. Just, keep your head on a swivel. So yeah, I think that's my closing statement for the podcast as well. Join the Discord. They sponsor the podcast. That's the way we're kind of building the community. We're going all in on the community stuff. Link in the description box below. Also, if you're watching the video version, leave a like on the video. Y'all motherfuckers have been killing it. I don't know. We had a podcast recently hit over 200,000 views. What's the name? And then we have another one that's about to hit 100,000. The numbers have just been, the GI stock is going up. It's what JG said. You better get on it now. You bet, because it's going up. Because I'm not gonna lie,
yesterday's price will not be today's
price.
When
we get there, if you wasn't fucking with us like that before, I'm gonna act like I don't know you. What's the name? We only gonna rock with the day ones that were supporting us. But it is what it is, man. Best damn gaming podcast out there. I be thinking about that. I don't be trying to like pat myself on the back, but I'm gonna be honest.
I think it's fine. I think it's fine.
I don't like, who's fucking with us. Like IGN shit is kind of boring, and I don't mean like it's a shot. It's just like, a generic podcast. Like, we give you, the jokes and the fucking info. So join the Discord. But yeah, we appreciate you guys for coming through. If you're listening on Apple and Spotify, 5 stars, leave your rating. Drop a comment if you made it to this far in the podcast on the YouTube version. Leave a comment saying hashtag MinishCapJG if you made it to this part of the podcast, because JG loves Zelda. Other than that, we appreciate you guys for checking out this episode of the Game Illuminati podcast, and we will see you on the next one. Peace.